a chair and let's chill. Let's party, let's talk and let's build. Yeah, alright, let's talk over drinks.
Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Talks Over Drinks. My name is Stephani Fowlkes, and as always, my partner in justice, the guy Markel Prines. What's up, sir?
Everything
is everything. Oh man, we like 3 shows in on this recording set, so we do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I just try to change up my gear.
Yeah, he changes up. We're at his spot right now, and I was at a disadvantage.
That's all right. So. Markel is just let me tell you something. Markel, son, my best friend. We've been doing this for a while. What's the word I'm looking at?
Well, I guess it'd be a perfect time for a food for action. It's been a long journey on some gravelly roads. Yep. So we've had a long journey together on some gravelly roads, and sometimes it swerves, it curves and stuff like that. Sometimes it's straight, but we've been riding it out over the time. So season 5.
Season 5, Talks Over Drinks. It's been an amazing journey. This is our first husband and wife guest appearance situation, so that's a first for us. We're gonna welcome to the hot seat, swiftly hot seat.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. A real estate agent. Somebody that's going to teach us a little bit about the game, about how we can get in, how we can become owners of what we need to be doing for tomorrow.
I need that first property.
Yeah, for real. My first property, right? Stephani Fowlkes. Sister Stephani, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
So sit on down. Let you on the hot seat, and you have your beverage right here. I'm going to push it closer to you. Real estate agent. Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you decide that this was going to be something that you were going to do to improve the community and be a voice for people that may not know how to kind of function in that realm?
For me, what motivated me to become a real estate agent was me buying a home and having the experience that I had.
Okay.
Experiencing the emotional roller coaster of it.
Okay.
Experiencing the win, of getting my property under contract. The win of having a stake in the ground, to be able to claim as my own.
Okay.
And being able to do that with my husband while pregnant with our first child.
Okay.
Wow.
And so it was a lot. But I was so glad that I did it. So
at that time, you were not a real estate agent?
I was not.
Okay, so what type of job did you hold at that time when you and Jeff were going through the purchase of your first property?
So I was working with the major bank and was working in their fraud department.
Okay.
Yeah, so I worked at that time, bank fraud.
Okay.
Yeah, so... catching all the bad guys.
Catching the bad guys. Guns up, catching all the bad guys. What so when you realized that real estate was what you wanted to matriculate to, what did you do? What were your first steps on making your journey from bank fraud to real estate agent?
The first thing was gaining the confidence to be able to make that step.
Okay.
It's easy to become an agent. Well, it's easy to gain the title of agent, but it's another thing to become an agent.
Okay.
So you gain the title by going to real estate school, and I did that during the night sessions with my son.
Wow.
Going to real estate school, passing my national and state licenses.
Okay.
And then, of course, you're just cranking out money from day one. You sold nothing, but you're cranking out money.
Wow.
And you have to be bold enough to give someone over $1,000, of your money, with the attitude that you are going to get a return investment of this, because you are now your own investment.
Wow.
Right, you bet on yourself.
You are literally betting on yourself from day one. So once you pass the mental of, claiming it, and you do your studies and, gain your licenses, it's you either hit the ground running or you stand still and you freeze. Yeah. I did a little bit of both.
Okay.
Just to be as honest as possible, and I came out, I guess you would call it analysis paralysis. And
I have that. I suffer from that too. So I watch and study something forever before man, let me start a little bit, but let me do this other YouTube video first.
Let me look at this a little bit more. Let me just read a little bit more. What about if I do it this way or that? Yeah.
But it didn't work for him. He made good money, but let me see somebody else. How did they do it? And then you become an expert in the knowledge of it.
Exactly. And then you're trying to overcompensate by not falling into any of the pitfalls. But in all actuality, you have to have the experiences of the pitfalls to know what the pitfalls look like. You've got to experience it all. Like, you have to be willing to get your hands as dirty as possible in real estate. And that's where you become graceful with it. And it's in those glitches that I was able to gain, the experience of, and be able to, gain the confidence of saying and claiming that I am an actual real estate agent and that I am, I'm a damn good one.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Absolutely.
So tell our viewers, some of who may not have taken those steps to become homeowners, many people, I guess, feel like their credit may not be good. So kind of walk us through what the steps are in that journey towards homeownership.
So a lot of times people come and they ask the questions of, do I need to have good credit in order to buy a home? My question is always, what is good credit to you? Okay. Because when I see credit, I see 620. That's good credit. You can get a home with a 620 credit score. Will you be able to get some type of a down payment or closing costs, like type of assistance? Yes. However, if you're coming and you're saying, okay, I want to buy a house and my credit's at a 475,
you ain't.
We have some work to do. Let's pull credit reports and see what it is that's on there so that we can fix the credit report. People get stuck on the credit score. Don't get stuck on the credit score. Okay. Get stuck on the credit report. Pull your credit reports. It's daunting and it's exhausting to a lot of people because no one really likes to face their money mistakes. Yeah. Okay. But you have to be willing to face them. The sooner you face them, the sooner it's not an issue anymore. Okay. Once you fix those things, the score will fix itself. Okay. The score over time will skyrocket. You just have to be willing to do the homework up front in order for you to get a pre-approval. You can't chase a house without a pre-approval. You can't get a pre-approval without the credit rating. You need the credit rating, so therefore you need to get the credit report correct.
So, with regard to people who may have had issues with regard to late pays or slow pays or no pays, what's the first step that those individuals need to take in order to kind of start their journey on the steps to repairing their credit?
Pay.
Okay.
Pay, and pay on time. If it's a cable bill, pay it on time. You have, so say the bill is $20, you have $25. Give them $22 if it's a credit card. If it's your actual, like say your phone bill, if you don't pay it, they're going to put it on your credit report. Yeah. Therefore, treat it as if it is a credit card. Pay it in full. Right. Don't do partial payments on things or paying the minimum payment. No, because your on-time payments it holds the weight of 30 to 35% of your credit score. Wow. If you just pay on time, you are able to raise your score over a year. Okay. Yeah, so it, on top of having different types of credit, so having a revolving credit account, meaning a credit card. So you pay, and then so you spend, you pay, and then the next month you have new credit available. Okay. And then you pay, you spend, you pay, and you have new credit available. It's literally like a revolving door. Okay. Or if you have, say like an installment type of loan, or credit, that will be your car payment. You take out, or a personal loan. You take out a loan, they give you a lump sum for some type of a asset, or you are the asset in the personal loan. Okay. Because you're basically taking credit out against yourself. Excuse me. With a promise to pay. So essentially, with that type of installment loan, you have a lump sum, and over time you're paying installment payments. A car note is an installment loan. So, you pay that, you're diversifying yourself, because now you have revolving credit as well as an installment type of loan. That shows that you're able to handle multiple types of accounts, and that you're responsible with credit, and that then builds your trustworthiness.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, because we was talking about this a couple of weeks, and we was talking about credit, and I was saying that when I went and got my last vehicle, on my credit report, I didn't have a lot of debt or anything, but my history still shows real short, even though I don't really use credit cards and stuff, but I got a credit card. But I feel like my credit history should be, at my age, should be longer than 5 years. And it's just like...
So, unlike us as individuals, your credit history only goes the length of your oldest account, your oldest open account. Okay. So if you have an account that you just started 18 months ago, and you never had anything else in your name, your credit started 18 months ago.
Wow. Okay.
So now the one thing that we was talking about, I was saying that it seems like when it comes to your credit, it's not good to pay off everything. Like if you have a car note, you don't want to say, okay, it's $10,000 left. I got $10,000. Let me pay it off because that's going to make it look good. You still want to make payments, because a closed account makes it look negative because there's less money that you have out there. So it seems like the credit people like to have you have credit a whole bunch of like debt. Like you need to owe that person, that person, that person, that person. If you close that out, then that means that's less on the total amount
your
of
credit worthiness.
Right. So they penalize you when you pay stuff off.
It's not a penalization for paying things off. It's a penalization for having your, I guess you say, available credit reduced substantially.
Yeah.
So say you have your installment loan, right? Or your installment credit. So say you have a credit card that was, it was doing well, and then you fell on hard times, and before they shut it down, they basically put it into a restriction. I worked in credit card with a major bank as well. But so say that loan, that credit card then turns from a revolving credit into an installment credit. It's just before they would charge off, but that's a whole nother topic. But essentially what that would do is then basically say that you no longer have revolving credit, so you don't have this credit line available to you at your demand. Right now, okay, you fell on hard times after so many months, depending on that particular company's guidelines and policies, then you would go ahead and pay down that debt. Well, is their way of doing you a favor, honestly. And why are they doing you that favor? Because if they were to just charge off that account,
right,
well, then you've lost all your credit history. On top of, now you have a derogatory account on your credit report. Right. But if they switch it from a revolving credit into an installment loan, once it's paid off, it's going to still hurt you, but not in a derogatory way. Your available credit decreases because your revolving credit turned into an installment, and now you pay that installment off. So you did a good job by paying it off. But what could have gone so south, because a charge off on your credit report
is worse.
That's worse because it's on there for 7 to 10 years, and a lot of companies don't take that off.
So revolving credit is better.
Revolving credit is nicer.
Nicer. It's like the election. It's nicer. We got nicer.
Depending on what side of the fence you want.
Right.
Exactly. But also what you need to be careful of and take into consideration is the debt to income ratio.
Okay.
And that's what can get a lot of people into trouble too.
Explain the debt to income ratio to people.
So when it comes to the debt to income ratio, you don't want to have too much debt to your income, because then if your income is $40,000 and you have $40,000 in debt, you have zero money available to buy a house.
Right.
So you want to have your debt to income, your debt down, so that your income is where it is, so that space in between is then that's your spending money. Right. That's what you have available to spend each month, and that's how they're able to then determine what you're able to afford in a mortgage.
Is there a certain percentage that they look at between your income and basically that debt? Because I know with the utilization, that's different from utilization to 30%.
So I don't like to say 30%.
Okay.
I don't like to say 30% just because it's easy to get to 30%. So I would prefer 20%, 20 to 25% to give you that buffer. Gotcha. So that if you fall, and I'm talking about when I say utilization, like credit utilization. So 20 to 25% on each account, honestly.
Right.
And even that in some instances is too high for an individual. Like, use credit wisely, people.
She said, use credit wisely.
Yeah.
Meaning,
it could be a trap.
Exactly, so that you don't get into a trap. So if you're saying 30%, no, you always want to go beneath what you believe. And I say that because essentially what you want to leave room for is in case you have 2 months of a hiccup. If that late payment then that's added on pushes you over that 30%, that's affecting your credit score.
Okay.
So you want to be able to give yourself that cushion so that when you do, get back on your feet, then you're going to have that late payment on your credit report, but your utilization isn't going but so high. So you still look responsible with credit.
Understood. Question?
We didn't even get into real estate yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is my area of conversation when it's about this, because my brother he's really into real estate, and he's in New York, and he's buying up three family houses in Poughkeepsie. Buildings for like good prices. Ain't nobody up there. Don't start buying and they take it from my brother now. But he keeps telling me that I need to get into it. So I've been working on my credit and stuff like that. I'm over 700 now. Like I said, debt is low. Working on that. My one card that I actually got in order to build my credit, I fell into the trap, and it was Amazon. Thinking, that 5% cash back. Okay, let me just spend this card and stuff.
It's the bait to get you to keep using the card.
Right, and then after a year, 20-something% interest comes in that 5%. Right, and then you start like, oh man, okay, my minimum payment is not doing anything. My bill is going down $10, $13 on a $100 a month payment.
Yeah.
So I'm at the point where maybe next year I might be looking into getting a home. I want to stop renting, but I'm not sure if I really want to get into, it's smart for me to get into something that I'm paying and it's like an investment on myself. But I really want to get into rentals. So do you help people when it comes to not just themselves buying homes or getting into duplexes and rentals and stuff like that?
So that would be considered an investment property. Yes, because at the end of the day, what you use the property for doesn't change how it's sold. It's all the same. So if you're relocating, if you're looking to buy an investment property, if you're trying to do which is still an investment, but a flip. So say you want to buy a property in cash, but then you want to go ahead and put it back on the real estate market. A wholesale flip. So you want to buy the house in cash, right, as a wholesaler, and then you would then go ahead and put the renovations into it and then put it back on the market as a retail sale. well, yes, I would be able to help you with that because then you would be considered an investor. So that's hand over fist money, literally. Yeah, because and the reason why is because you're able to buy a house for cheap. Cash is king. Nothing can top cash. I mean, I've had deals where, I have a client who's coming in at above asking price and isn't asking for any fixes or anything, and then someone before they accept the contract then comes in with cash, and they're not asking for an appraisal, they're not asking for any repairs, they're just asking for an inspection report just so they can get some information, and they're still coming in at asking price, and they're coming in lower than my client is.
Right. They're gonna lose.
But because it's cash,
it's king.
It's just able to close in 7 days with cash.
Now, does it seem like things have changed a lot with the COVID? Because I hear a lot of people are going through foreclosures, people with the unemployment rising. There's some people on the other side doing good while other people are doing bad. And real estate, I hear, is one of those things where, there's people losing their houses. So certain areas you might want to get into looking into foreclosures, buying. Have you noticed a major difference in the market?
A major difference, but in a very odd way. Prices have gone up on houses. Houses are not staying on the market. I've seen weird deals where, you put the house on the market for, say, $200,000, but then someone's offering $220,000. But the house isn't worth $220,000. I mean, they're just throwing it out there just because they want you to accept the offer. Like, you have one house on the market and is given 9 offers. That's not a normal thing. It's great. Yeah. It's great. It's great for business. But as far as, being able to speak on how, I guess you would say, how COVID is playing into this, I don't understand it. That's what I can say. I don't understand how unemployment can be on a rise. Housing is also on a rise, and still the market is booming.
Well, I guess my one theory would be that they look at COVID as having kind of suppressed it. Like, they're figuring, okay, this $200,000 house, even though I'm offering $220,000, once when this COVID is over, this value is going to be at $300,000. So let me just get it and snatch it. Like, maybe that's the thinking that in 2025 or whatever, whenever we get out of this or whatever. But
you said 2025.
2025 or something. Oh man, hopefully that ain't true. But
shout Ralph North and shut the bars down. We can't drink, man.
Can't drink.
I'm saying now they about to send the police out here.
Well, we got less than 25 people here, so no more than the 250
son,
limit.
We got no facial covering, son. They about to send the state police out here. They were like, them talks over drinks. Hold on, son. We done had Roy Revolution. We done had Cooler Von Sale. We done had Dr. Neil Jackson. They sending the police after us, man. You already know what's happening.
Well, hey, if it does,
Jeff Gunn unloaded on the table over there. That's what I'm saying. Already sending the people after us.
Oh man. Oh well.
Chesterfield shaking in their boots. We got shut the. You already know.
Well, what depending on today's date, that goes into effect tomorrow.
It don't
actually,
matter.
so we're good.
So we don't know. They already tracking us. You already know they tracking us.
Yeah, we might be on the radar.
You already on the radar.
Maybe the thoughts is that it's going to get better. Well, maybe in another year after this vaccine or whatever.
I'm not taking no vaccine.
I'm not with that either. But
that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother
show. We done left real estate. We done left real estate. You know what I'm saying?
With the COVID.
Jeff patting his brow over there with the handkerchief, with the reverend handkerchief.
Well, but that's stuff to keep in mind. As a business person, as an entrepreneur, we gotta keep track of the trends of what's going on. If people are healthy,
Look.
It's good and people sick. It's good for some other people. So, hey, losing your house is good for real estate for somebody.
Position yourself properly.
Position yourself properly.
That's right.
So, Miss Stephani, if they want to catch you on social media, what are your handles?
So, I am your relatable realtor.
Relatable ladies and gentlemen. Relatable realtor.
That's going to be the name of the podcast, too?
Yeah, your relatable realtor.
Your relatable realtor.
Realtor. Starting in the new year, or you going to start it before the end of the year? See, I'm putting it on you.
He's really putting a due date on this.
Hey, yo, 20. You know what we said? Markel and I said 2021 9 to 5 dropout. You know what I'm saying? One of my instructors from the community college told me that we all have an expiration date. So I'm telling my boss, 2021, January 1 is my expiration date. It's time for me to move on and do my own thing. So if people want to contact you, social media, Stephani?
I'm your relatable realtor. My phone number is 804-571-0060.
The hours of operation, so they're not calling you after. No
social media.
Yeah, you can reach me on social media 24 hours a day. If I don't respond, I'll like within the 30 minutes. Then I'll definitely reach out to you within a 24-hour span. But I'm easy to contact.
Stephani Fowlkes.
Yes.
On Facebook.
Correct.
With an I.
Stephani with an I.
Stephani with an I. We appreciate you coming, Queen. You know what I'm saying? Corey Fowlkes, Stephani Fowlkes, your relatable realtor. Markel Primes, my partner in justice. Talks over drinks. Cheers. Empty glass.
Alright, let's talk over drinks.
Talks over drinks. Talks over drinks. We can have a conversation. You can say what you think. I'm 40 plus and still rocking to this hip hop beat. Bring it live and direct right here from Broad Street. I pray that my lyrics do find you well. Cause it's me, MSB, and a guy named Markel. The White Jason, you know he fan. Invite indie musicians. Coming straight slam. I got swerving beat sounds on the 1s and 2s. And together, united, we gon' bring it to you. We the RVA Rat Pack crew. So take your pick, Comcast or YouTube. No disrespect, I don't mean to be rude, but these other talk shows can't do what we do. I stay with the lyrics, some call me Dread Dude. Difference of opinion should not be called sin. Tell the truth, yo Dread, where you been? Invest a few minutes, I hope you tune in, yo. Politics, economics, education. These are topics across the whole entire nation. Keep it 100, we gon' talk about them, yo. Bring your kids, tell your mama and a friend, yo, it's Toast Over Drinks. Toast Over Drinks. We can have a conversation. You can say what you think.
Let's talk over drinks. Pull up a chair and let's chill. Let's party, let's talk and let's build. Alright, let's talk over drinks. We over here keeping it real, saying exactly how we feel. Come on, let's talk over drinks. Pull up a chair and let's chill. Let's party, let's talk and let's build. Alright, let's talk over drinks.